On Detention Center. Your account balance is $12.99. To hear the charges for this call, press or say 2. To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hey, Rudy, how you doing, man?
Hey, Omar, I'm doing good, man. I apologize for earlier. I didn't mean to be rude or anything. It's just I was right in the middle, and I didn't want to miss your phone call. And so I threw the recorder and the phone in the truck, thinking if you wanted to say a message to the public that I would capture it. But I didn't realize you were still trying to talk to me, brother. I'm so sorry. It's just you got to understand.
Oh, okay.
I do try to not miss the. I try not to miss the phone calls, but and then when you called back later tonight, I was on the phone with a guy that's been in prison 35 years. So anyway, you had some really good. You had some good news about your mother and her. I think news about cancer. I didn't quite catch it all, but it sounded like good news.
Well, the good news is, so she beat cancer for the second time. The doctor just said that there's not a single cancer cell in her body right now.
Wow.
And I believe she just told me this just yesterday, Friday. And yeah, I mean, it's just a miracle. I mean, especially at her age, you know, she's about 65 or so. And, you know, 2 times to completely be gone with the cancer is just nothing short of a miracle. So, you know, and I think all the prayers and the support helped, and I thank everybody for that. And, you know, it is remarkable, and I'm really happy. I know a lot of stress has been relieved from me and also from her. The only thing unfortunate is she still has to do a couple things of chemo therapy to make sure, I guess, it doesn't come back or whatever. But you know, I'm happy for her and really happy, man.
No, me too. I'm really glad to hear that, and it sounds like it's working well for you. And God bless that situation. I lost my first wife of 26 years to cancer, so I know how devastating that can be. Let me share this with you, and I only want you to know this as just a side, and you know, keep it as a tool in your tool bag for later on. But I deal with a lot of political prisoners. One of them is a guy that developed mineral water. It's nanite copper mineral water, and I've talked to many people that had terminal cancer that say that once they took his mineral water, it cured their cancer. I know that sounds crazy. I was a skeptic too when I first heard all this, but then I've talked to too many people that claim that it positively impacted them. His name is David Hinkson. He's been sitting in prison 15 years, and he was a successful businessman before they threw him in prison. He's got 43 years to go. I mean, 43 years total. And anyway, if it comes up, if anything of cancer comes up again in the future, you just might want to keep that name in mind, David Hinkson Copper Water, and just keep it as a tool in your tool bag, because you know, I think anytime anybody comes up with a treatment for cancer, the feds go after him and put him in prison, and I think that's what happened to David.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. Well, you know, right now, I guess I'm just waiting now on, you know, hopefully on the release pending the sentencing, and that worst case, I think November, 15 would, you know, I should have time served. You know, anyone with my similar category or offense level would have, you know, approximately 20 or 30 month sentence, you know, even though I believe this is an unconstitutional statute and everything that went down was wrong. But either way, even if, you know, if it was correct, I'd have more than time served. So, yeah, I'm just working on that right now, showing similar cases and similar people who have the similar, you know, type of record or whatever, and how they would have, you know, like no more than a 30-month sentence. So, you know, me being at 43 months right now is just purely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, you know, like I said, I think it's looking positive, and just waiting now. Now it's just a waiting game. So, but, you know, I just wanted to share that good news, and, you know, I'm all right. I'm doing all right here. And, you know, even though it's not that great, but it's, you know, I'm looking forward to getting out of here and put it on my past and just move on.
I bet, man. I bet. That's a long time out of your life that kept you in that hellhole, and it didn't have to be that way. But you, hopefully, you're going to get out of there real soon, Omar. I really hope that's the case, and I hope you're able to rejoin your family and start your life again. And I hope you sue the pants off of them. That's just my personal wish, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I was just able to talk to Cliven and Ryan right now too, and it was good to hear from them. They're doing good. So
great,
hey, man, I can't wait. I told Cliven, I said I can't wait to get out there and get a steak and ride a horse or something.
Yeah, that's great.
And he's like, yeah, you need to get your butt out of there. So, but anyways, like I said, they're great people, and I thank them for their support. They've helped a lot, and to get me through this. And hopefully I can change the laws or change the system somehow. The Supreme Court stuff could still be ruled any day, and I pray that happens. So.
Me too. Just
keep it in the prayers, and like I said, I think good things are happening in other cases. And I appreciate that email, by the way. Of those things you sent me about the Maya and things like that. It helps. I'm going to go research it. But, thank you.
No problem. Yeah, it looks like things are going very well for people who are depending on Demaya to get out of there. So I hope that's the case, for everybody that's affected. And I hope they let you out. You still don't have a date on when they're going to give you sentencing, or there's no date set yet?
Yeah, it's November 15th.
Oh, I see.
The sentence date. Yeah.
Okay, but you're asking you're asking to get out of there pre-sentencing, and hopefully they'll grant that motion.
Yeah, hopefully in about how everything takes time, so hopefully in about 3 weeks I hear an answer or something like that.
Okay.
Like I said, right now it's just waiting, and I guess that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just horrible, man.
I know.
How they just throw you in these warehouses and then just forget about you, or just delay.
Yeah.
So just as delayed is just as denied.
Yeah. No doubt about it. There's a book called the Kennel, Exposing the Prison Industrial Complex. And it talks about if the judges and the prosecutors were put in jail for even a week or 2 weeks, they would be less likely to throw 43 months at someone like yourself. I mean, when they throw months and months and years upon people, they don't realize, how harsh that is. It's a very harsh sentence for when there's no victim. Right? There's no victim. There's nobody hurt by the crime. Why in the world are you set in prison 43 months? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. I mean, all it does is mess up society. It doesn't help anything. The only victim is a person doing extra length of sentence for no just cause. There's no one benefits from this at all.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's just none, except more crime and more poverty, and it's just horrible. No one wins.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but not only does it affect you, because you obviously got to pay the harsh price of losing your freedom and being subjected to the harsh conditions of prison environment, but your family is affected. Those who care about you are affected. Your productivity as a productive member of society is affected. I mean, it's just a lose-lose situation that has a domino effect all throughout society, and these people are ruining humanity as far as I'm concerned. I mean, they have become enemies of the people of America, the law enforcement officials and the judicial system that does this.
Yeah, I was just reading a thing from even Eric Holder himself, and the former Attorney General, and all they do is that they speak a good one, They say all this, we're going to try to lower recidivism and this and that, and create programs, whatever, and nothing happens. The U.S. attorneys are still doing corruption, and nothing changes. So it's really all talk and no action. So, like I said, hopefully something changes, and it's just really the public needs to just be more awakened to what's going on, and really that's the only way to change things. So, so I guess all we can do is pray, and hopefully it changes.
Yeah, amen.
Because a lot of people are suffering.
Well, and I respect.
Way too long.
And I respect not only prayer, and I agree prayer is the most important thing we can do, but the fact you didn't compromise and the fact you stood up through this whole situation, it's people taking a stand like that that's going to hopefully make a change in this country. Because if we continue to compromise with these evildoers, they need to be held accountable at some point. That's my opinion. And And they need to not have the immunity. They have all this immunity in prosecution and immunity with judges, but we need to take that away.
Yeah. I mean, it just sucks that they make it the way they make it seem to the jury is that like they have no choice but to convict. But
yeah.
You know, that's the reason people need to understand that they have the power to nullify or to do what they want. You know, if they believe the law is unjust, then that's the way it used to be in the common law days. That they need to go and say, hey, that's not right. You know, but you know the judge instructs them and says whether you like the law or not, whether you believe in it or not, you know you must follow it. Well, if it's unconstitutional and it's immoral, then people should follow their heart and not their the pen. So you know that's what's more important. These days.
Yeah. No, we should be able to openly talk about jury nullification in the courtroom. I think it should be openly discussed in front of the jury so that they fully understand it and can execute it if they think it's important.
Yeah, I mean the best disinfectant is sunlight, man.
Yeah, so, right.
You know, that's all it is just letting the people know the knowledge, the wisdom. That's the only thing you can gain from these experiences is making sure it doesn't happen again or to the next loved one, you know, because that's what's more important. You know, instead of getting down about it, I guess just learning from it and educating people to what can be changed to a better positive world.
Yeah.
You know, I see nothing other than that. So, but you know, and it's hard to say from my situation, but you know, I've done a lot going to the Ninth Circuit and the U.S. Supreme Court all by myself, and it's not an easy task, you know. So, hopefully, like I said, something will prevail from those issues that I brought up, and at least change something. So,
I hope so, and I hope you get out of there soon, man.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Rudy. You know, I'll get out of here and get some things going, but I appreciate everything, and just pray for me, I guess.
You bet. And I'm looking forward to that first phone call when you're not coming through the prison satanic system, and you're telling us that you're out of that hellhole after 43 freaking months, man. I hope it's very, very soon, and that'll be a good day, man. That'll be a really good day. You've waited a long time for this, and
yes, sir.
Yeah. So we're certainly praying for you, and we're praying for justice, and we hope they grant your motion to get out of there before November. I hope you don't have to wait there all the way till freaking November.
Right. Well, hey, thank you, man, and well, God bless. Take care.
All right. I'm glad to hear about your mom, and that's really good news. Thanks for sharing it, Omar.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care. God bless.
Bye-bye. I never really